Anyway, I guess we could start our meeting. I just, wanted to introduce everybody to Alex, who's from Copeland and Bay, the KP Law. And
everyone.
you want to tell people how
Sure, been at KP over 10 years now. I focus mostly on land use, including litigation and permitting. The firm represents municipalities everywhere from Pittsfield to Provincetown, so all over the state. So, we're very in tune to all the issues that municipalities are dealing with. Yeah, look forward to working with you guys. Very interesting projects that are being permitted currently.
We had this started picking enforcement action that we have. Got some information from Carolyn.
You can.
Thank you for coming.
It was 7:30, right?
Yeah. But I don't think you've met most of these people.
Well, that could possibly be, yes.
So I would just go around the room.
Good to meet you. Hi.
Hi, Alex Weissman from KP Law.
What was it?
I'm Alex Weissman from KP Law.
Okay.
Newtown Council.
Okay. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. That wasn't too bad. Not close. That close.
As I said, I thought it would be nice for us to actually meet in person. We haven't done that in like 5 years. And so I thought it was sort of a good time. And thankfully we had somebody come out from KP Law that was willing to just come and introduce themselves as our new town council. And I also thought that it would be helpful for Jim to sort of explain to the new members of the board what you are doing, to sort of save the rest of us from other nights. And
we're very grateful.
Well, judging from earlier today, I had 3 hearings this afternoon, so that's kind of what happens a lot. There's probably been it's hovering around 100 different applications that have come through me. Some of them have been a little more complex than we had anticipated. And some have chosen to, knowing that it was not going to go. There are times that I've recommended that, and we're getting more of a feeling for those kinds of things that would be recommended to go to a 3-person board. If there's something that I would not feel comfortable deciding or knowing that I would turn it down, I send it back to a 3-person board, because I figured that way it's better that people can talk amongst themselves. And I mean, there are times that I've been a dissenter and have convinced other people, and there are other times that I've been the dissenter and have convinced me otherwise. So I thought that was a good use of the 3-person board. So we are. I'm getting a better feel of which things to take, which things not to take. And there are some that there's been controversy with, and people have threatened that they were going to be filing, which, by the way, that has not happened, right? On that latest one?
Not so far.
So it does mean that the decision has to be written pretty precisely so that they really can't, there's no way for them to really have anything that they could go to court with. So so it's been busy. It's seasonal. I wish more people would do things in the winter time, because they want to build in the summertime. They don't want to be waiting around for a hearing. So, but that's, what can I say?
So is that going okay? I mean, you have time, support, and all that stuff, sort of thing.
Yeah. It's there. It's.
Raise your hand when you have a problem.
I will. Thank you.
Cases that go here, the full
things that seem de minimis. Well, you tell me, what do you send me? There's sometimes I send it back, but I'm not sure what your criteria is for that.
Generally send you almost every case to review for, unless it's something obviously controversial, you know, like the Thayer nursery or,
Right.
or something that's big, like the hospital or something like that, yeah. But I like to get some feedback before approaching the larger board.
Yeah. So, I mean, so I guess I am seeing most things and that's fine because, I'm finding that I can cut and paste from other things generally, so.
Regular day meetings?
Usually Mondays.
How, for the most part, we write decisions in some situations for 3-person board, we will have counsel on it, but it's basically.
Yeah, I've been busy writing decisions, yeah.
Which is, that's sometimes different too. You know, but depending upon different towns, it's never, it's like you expect the attorney to draft it. Like in the city of Washington, they totally expect council to draft it, not the zoning board itself. But yeah, other places are different.
Resources.
So as I said, I was kind of wondering what the criteria was. So it's Bill that's doing the first pass on that, and then just sending most of them out to Jim.
Essentially, yeah. As I said, you know, if anything that's obviously going to need the larger board, I'll, you know, go directly to you, but I do ask for a little bit of a review. She does a lot of,
And sometimes there are some conflicts as well. So.
Right. Anybody have any questions?
I do for you. So, I'm just kind of curious, given the volume, how quickly do you dispose of any particular?
Not as quickly as everybody would like. I try to do it in 2 weeks.
It's really good. I'm just surprised. It's kind of huge.
Well, you know.
I wouldn't forgive where you're disagreeing.
It is. I mean, it's work. It's, you know, people choose to give to the community in various ways, and this is the way that I give to the community.
One of the things that we had talked about, and actually it was interesting, I said I was at the REVA conference today, where we had this session on Zoom and get done by 2 young court judges. It's kind of hilarious, things that the story they were telling. Like the time the attorney called in from a pink bathroom, you know, in his house, because he said, when they're like, "You're in the bathroom?" And he said, "Well, yeah, I'm home with the kids, and it's the only one that's quiet." They didn't think that was, you know, that was really about people looking, yeah, whether people, Howard Spicer does not like state, you know, the Golden Gate behind you on the beach, you know, Diane sort of does, she thought that was kind of fun. But it was interesting because I was asking a question about how they handle things, and so do they do their trials and whatever. And so because there's a discussion about doing whether we would do hybrid meetings. We've been meeting on Zoom since COVID, and so the thought was to sort of take a look to see whether or not, because we had a recent enforcement case, that the applicant insisted be in person. So I was here in person. These guys were sitting at home. And we had one situation where I was in town hall talking to Bill when this woman came in, was asking about the hearing that was before us for the Heritage Hall region, and she couldn't figure out how to come in on Zoom. And she did sign in, but I mean, she couldn't figure out how to talk. And she was a direct abutter. And so I'm a little sensitive to the fact that, you know, some people are not able to figure this out. And so I thought about thinking about whether we would go forward to do hybrid meetings. And so one person would be here in person, but not everybody would need to be. But the Milton Access TV said that they can't do that. They don't have capacity. But if they could train somebody to use the equipment that's in the new meeting room. So I think, we can talk about it, but I think we would continue. Do you mean on it or do you mean? Yeah, that we would continue to do that, unless somebody, complained and wanted to do a hybrid. And then in that case, Bill and I would be training how to use it. What do you all think about that? You're okay with Zoom?
Zoom seems to be working 98% of the time. And if there's in person because of something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in some instances, it's nice, if somebody brings in like a newer plan or a larger plan that we haven't got.
Right.
It's easier for everybody to look at it, the photos that they may not have submitted before. I mean, maybe the answer is that, hey, we're doing it by Zoom, so you gotta get it, and everything into us in advance. But other than that, just from the presentation aspect, I don't have a problem with Zoom.
I'm fine with the Zoom stuff as long as the constituents are okay with it.
I had one problem today with one person, it was a direct abutter that wasn't able to say what he wanted to say, and he finally, we gave him a little time, and he got on to someone else's computer and was able to say what he wanted to say, but yeah, it was a little dicey there. It kind of brings up something else, though. I'm finding that, and this was the case with this gentleman, he got the notice of his abutting neighbor wanting to build something, and he was on the left-hand side. The right-hand side was where the setback was needing to be done. There was like 20-something feet on the side between the two of them, and they didn't quite understand. And so, you do public service announcements saying, yes, you can look at these things anytime you want, in town hall. And then Bill piped up and said, you can do that online.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It kind of, I think if more people knew about that, there wouldn't be as much needing to call in on some things that might catch you, that sort of thing.
Well, do our ads say that the stuff's available on the website, or they just say that they're filed with the town clerk? Or they're filed with you?
I think it goes out, it just indicates date, time, and that it's a Zoom hearing. Now, if we can update that language to say that it's available with a link to the town site and active appeals. Pardon?
Is it there?
It's not in the current document that goes out.
The standard language is in the board's file, on public inspection.
Yeah.
It says that because that's where it is. It's in the board's file.
Right.
On public inspection. So,
But they are.
it'd be great.
They are.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All of the materials.
all active appeals. Yeah. No, it is.
It's not in the app.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we could actually put a link on the notices, maybe that would be helpful.
Oh,
The other thing is, a lot of the documents we're getting through these files are not coming in until like 2 hours before the meeting, right? An hour. I don't know if that's something we want to discuss tonight too, is having some type of deadline, not that anyone can follow it, but,
well, yeah, in the report, they said that, you have to prep for a Zoom meeting probably more than you do for a live court. But all our motion sessions are pretty much on Zoom. But you have to, everything's got to be in. You've got to have it digitized, everything, everything.
What's the consequence of that? I mean, I agree, but what's the consequence?
You have to put on,
yeah, but we're not time to, I mean, I'm retired. Some of you, maybe coming like straight, coming home and going straight into a hearing and not even know whether something's come in an hour and a half before. Like usually it's like, the abutters support letters or something like that. Yeah, it's puzzling, but if an applicant is represented by an attorney, it could be some additional submittal that they have to, and require some.
Really comes from there, I think if you can give a statutory definition. So you only do a constructive approval for situations. Just something.
Yeah.
I think the vast majority of these applications are from people who are not, you know, just, it would be hard for us to have a deadline that would really work. You know, Chris and I were on there where that happened a couple of times and, you know, we made it known that it wasn't good, but I don't know that it would have been improved one way or the other. I'm definitely in favor of having both the materials online and the notice say they're online. That's easy for everybody because what confuses me about these are the multiple emails. I just can't keep up. It's just
Right. That is a problem.
emails, but going to a link, I think is great. But I wouldn't be in favor of having a hard deadline on submitting materials. This doesn't seem like, I know it happens, but still it's like a way for that.
Well, I think it would be helpful to tell people that in the notice, that's what,
100%.
so we can,
There's something else about the Zoom that just occurred to me while Jimmy was talking, and but you know, with the idea that somebody may have had trouble, they're not really knowing how to use the Zoom or something like that. I mean, I wonder whether, you know, for like particularly elderly people, you know, some people really don't use computers very much, that it might discourage them from, you know, trying to make any comments or have any input on the hearings or speak at the hearings if they don't know how to do it, you know. And we may not even know about that. You know?
That's right, we might not.
So, I don't know, it's just a thought.
You see this other point? A lot of towns these days do hybrid approach. See, because that option. In person, or hybrids. So it looks like you guys, what do you think? Well, we need to.
Have we done complaints after the fact? Like, I wasn't able to, I really wanted to say something.
I don't think in the case that I'm thinking of, is that American Legion, that they thought that going and having almost a rail line parcel next to it. I mean, I only knew she was having trouble because I was trying to build, when she came into town hall, but that was before the hearing. And then she did, her daughter phoned in, yeah, her daughter, she was on the phone, but I don't think I had to talk. But I think they were listening, they kind of realized that even if they did, it wasn't a difference. Unfortunately.
The issue with the hybrid is somebody there's a little bit of money to play. People in the room don't quite know what's on the screen, we don't have access to the same kinds of materials in the same way that we have online, so unless we have to vote for it, I would recommend something like when a hybrid meeting is appropriate, we'll have a hybrid meeting, and when it's not appropriate, we won't. You know, or I think so. I also feel to me like Zoom is good. I mean, I think a lot more people have tuned into our hearing since the old days, Jay.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't know.
Respect to the three of us.
Well, John always thought we had a cult following. That's what we thought.
Oh my gosh, there is.
Yeah, so then I think we should just, continue to do it on Zoom, so from the line. So I think we'll just, and then we can say, if somebody's giving Bill a hard time, then we'll give him back. Yeah. Okay. One thing we do have to do is vote to authorize electronic signatures.
Please, yesterday.
Gonna wander down, and you're always welcome.
Yeah.
People just sign a copy and scan and send it, or do you have like you have to do a document?
So, yeah, usually you would submit one original with your signature and then.
Yeah, scan the signature.
Does it have to be one original? No, right. I mean, the issue we have is, it's finished, it's all ready, it goes to Bill, Bill prints it out, we have to come to town hall to sign. What I do in my practice is write a document like that, just upload it to DocuSign and send it to the people who sign it. Yeah. I would recommend that we move to a program like that.
Doesn't matter for me.
Yeah, what does it want? They do theirs, I know, Hartford signs it in person, and everybody else has a copy. I don't think, my issue is that I don't think the registry of deeds is gonna take a document that's signed by DocuSign. Cause they do, all of them?
Plus it's registered land.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
Yeah, that's what we do.
okay. So Bill, can you check with the tech people to see how we can do that?
Sure. We're working on getting the budget for our office for DocuSign.
Yeah.
Previously, it had been paid for on the building commissioner's credit card. And he left last year. So we're trying to build that into the budget so that it'll just roll over automatically. We'll have that lined up.
I'm gonna confirm that Norfolk will take it.
Yeah,
Because we recorded in Norfolk, but we recorded through our title company, so I wanna make sure that the town itself can be filed.
well, usually it's the attorney that's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Very net.
Yeah.
You only 3% to return, so for kind of tragic.
Okay. I'll verify that.
Yeah, we do, yeah. So vote in favor of electronic signatures, all raise your hands and say aye or no, or whatever.
Aye.
All in favor? Anybody opposed? Okay. The motion.
I'm a Luddite. I admit it, I'm a Luddite,
Yeah.
but I don't need it, so,
I'm sorry if I missed what you said, but would it still be possible to vote in person or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you wanted to, it's just not allowed.
We just allow, you're not required, because I would probably still come by and sign it.
Yeah,
If
I would.
there was a problem at the registry, there at least be one signature. But the other problem we have here is that, you have to get it notarized, sometimes you have to get stuff notarized. You have to go down to the town clerk doesn't do it, somebody can put it on.
So how, just out of curiosity, we give them just for,
Yeah.
and on this point that it's optional, not man, like it's permissive.
Yeah,
Where is that, like, where is it say?
I'm gonna have minutes, I'm ready to sort of making this myself, I'm gonna have minutes of this meeting.
Yeah.
And then those minutes will be posted on our website.
Okay.
And just as a authorized electronic.
That's, in other words, that's all the authority that we.
Right.
We can DocuSign.
But I think.
I think somebody is gonna say, I need your authority under state law to authorize yourself to sign these electronically. Afterward, we have something that's operational.
That's what we might.
Or just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says our bylaw says we can adopt rules.
Mhm.
Right.
And somebody had requested copies of those rules from the town clerk, and it's discussed when they didn't have it.
Apparently it's just about a minute.
So we don't have that. We have no rules. So Bill, do you want to give us an update on your, operational issues? Do you have any issues with the
Well, just at this point, it's mainly getting things scheduled in a timely manner. That's about it. So,
Bill, would you be in favor of, board moving to, schedule where we met every third Thursday or something like that?
If you think that can work practically, as far as, do we still send things to Ginny at that point, or are we just going to have the every third week meeting to deal with all business that comes through?
I think part of the issue is, I think it's a good suggestion, and because, for example, I think you sent an email maybe late last week about something needing a hearing. We have a sort of drop dead date when the hearing needs to happen. And I think it becomes difficult, speaking for myself, to sort of figure out roughly when am I available in that month. I'm going to throw out dates. So I think having something like, there are a couple of days or a standing day, either every month or every other week, where everybody knows those are the hearing dates, and then, there's 3 of us available on that Thursday and 3 of us available on the other Thursday. It can't be one sensible one.
Okay, so 3 would be the quorum. We wouldn't have to have more members each. Understand it. Yeah, I mean, that could be. If you look at my calendar, it's just, September, August were crazy. Everything was marked up. So, but again, you tell me how you want to operate, and I will do my best to make it happen.
Part of the issue would be, how often would you think you would meet assuming that Jane, the cadence of the meetings remains the same, the number of these matters go to Jane on a routine basis. The remaining matters, if we said it would be appropriate to meet the 3rd Wednesday of every month, with a standing meeting of the Board of Appeals.
Right.
And then you would send out the email, instead of saying, I have 3 people available to sit on this and let me know the date, you say, the next meeting of the Board of Appeals is Wednesday, November 13th. Who's available to sit?
Right.
It's a little bit easier, I think, for everybody to do that, and if there's no meeting, there's no meeting.
Or if there are multiple, maybe you get.
We might, particularly if
2 or 3 nights.
yeah. Particularly if you was,
We regularly used to do 3 nights.
that'd be happy.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if we can use all 3 hours of hearing, to get through as much business as possible, I think that could work, certainly.
I'd be in favor of that. That way we put it on a master calendar, and people will know. And the outside parties will know too, so that when the client, attorney is representing their client, they'd say, well, the next meeting, they meet on Wednesdays, or they meet on 3rd Wednesday. Let's plan, as opposed to what I think happens now is we don't know when.
Right.
Now sometimes maybe that Wednesday won't work, and I'm just picking Wednesdays as an example, but
yeah,
I think that would be better for everyone.
Certainly could be. Yeah, the back and forth in the emails does get a little bit chaotic.
I think that makes sense.
Be more consistent with most of the rest of the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
And you.
Well, what would be a convenient day for people? Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, any day.
Tuesday's not working.
Would Mondays work for you, because you've got Ginny on Mondays?
Mondays can work. If we do have our 4 o'clocks, it can be a long day, but that's fine.
The issue with Mondays, we're going to allow the holidays.
Again, I'm available any day.
Government's not, right? So.
Yep, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, you're asking me what days work for me, and I've got to say Monday through Thursday. So what works for you all?
Who said it's not for you?
Most Tuesdays. Depends on what's.
Second Tuesday, I'm more. But yeah, any other day is fine.
You want to try for Thursday?
Yeah.
Usually works.
Yeah, that's fine.
Second Thursday of every month?
Okay.
Does that work for the town? Is there a cadence of town meetings where it would be? When the board of selectmen meet?
To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure. So I'll need to look into that.
Well, we're meeting on Zoom, so we're not using conference, so. That's.
No, I just think about, there are people who tune in.
Yeah.
People say, journalists.
Thursday's Board of Appeals night, gotta get out there.
I get a lot of people telling me, oh yeah, I watch you every Saturday morning.
Oh, geez.
Not for a while have I heard that.
That's more than that, you mean.
Huh? Well, they-
Watching you on Saturday. Usually go over to John's. We tune in.
Oh, people are funny with it. Fun.
I don't have any cartoons on. So. But then, yeah, I think that'd be good.
Okay, so do we want to institute this for December?
Sure.
Sure.
Go.
We probably don't need to vote on that, right? We just need to agree that the board beginning effective, let's see. It'd be effective December 11th. The board will begin to meet, have a standing meeting on the second Thursday of each month during the calendar year, with other meetings to be scheduled as necessary. It will be basically the protocol. But otherwise, we don't need any Thursday, assuming that there was a meeting. Every other, I'm sorry, not every Thursday.
Second.
Every second
Thursday.
Every second Thursday. So it would be December 11th, January 8th, February 12th.
One meeting a month.
February 12th.
Okay.
March 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get away with that? Is that enough?
Well, you
In August and September, probably.
it could be, Jimmy, that was one of the reasons we were trying to tease out how many. And you could say maybe you'd have to have two, I don't know. No.
Because I've never used this speak.
Oh, maybe, I don't know how many needs 3 people on board.
Yeah, you can be, since you've been doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's fantastic.
So that could be enough, I have no idea.
Yeah, and then right now, when we only have one. You know, as I said, so in the olden days, when
We have 3,
we
yeah.
had 2 or 3
Mhm.
in a given evening. I think that's great, and I think that's good for people too, because you sort of know.
7:00, what time?
Yeah.
Good, because I put it in, so.
Okay.
It's only lasting an hour though. Oh,
Thinking.
And then speaking of all these emails, yeah.
Yeah.
Nick mentioned that we could get email addresses with town email addresses instead of using your law firms or your dog email address or whatever people are using.
Unless it really matters, right? But to be honest with you, for me, it's easier to have.
We just want to let you know that the offer is there.
It's easier to get it into my system.
Yeah.
Maybe. Why I save it, I don't know, so.
Since I already had 4 email addresses, I didn't need anything, but, you know, I just wanted to make sure that you knew the offer was out there.
I have a question, actually, speaking of email, maybe this is actually involved by the available online question we were discussing earlier, but I was wondering whether it would make sense, rather than Bill sending us emails every time there was a letter of support, letter of support, whatever, supplemental materials, instead of sending an email, if there was a repository, like the Google Drive, let's say, just for argument's sake, where you could put them into the Google Drive for that case. And, you know, maybe we get a notification for an update, but. Oh, this was, oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the website we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go into it.
That's why I started there.
Yeah,
Just make sure that there's.
You're not gonna get an email with it.
That's fine.
yeah.
But that'd be handy.
I didn't realize that is what we're talking about. Great, perfect.
No, so they're all, active appeals. Is where you go on the website. Well, it's not full. There it is. And here's a list of all the documents that are in there. Property flooding, house flooding, et cetera, et cetera.
Mostly I'm just worried.
It happens.
Generally, those documents go up with the address and the case number. Like the Joe Henninger Road case, I got slammed at the last minute, so I was just kind of throwing things up there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, it is really good, actually.
So the mail that you sent out last week, that would be up for December 11th, yes? That would be.
I suppose so, yeah.
Well, well,
Yeah,
bada bing, bada boom.
yeah, there was a call for a 3-person board. We got the, I think it's Valentine, 123 Valentine Road.
So on Valentine Road.
The auxiliary house.
And just if I could quickly note, the building commissioner is issuing a lot of denials lately based on intensification of non-conforming structures. So I don't know if this is, he's reading things that or enforcing things that weren't previously enforced, but he's telling me today that he has about a dozen denials coming down the pike over the next week.
It should be every other one.
Just of note, and he says he would like to discuss seeing if they can open up the bylaw to deal with it on that level. But
No,
at this point, we are here,
no.
and we're going to see a lot of denies. Yeah, I know.
It makes the initial determination whether it needs a special permit from the full board or not.
Well, yeah, they do a review for the building and the zoning. And, he does the zoning reviews. So right now we're getting a high volume of people who are modifying their homes on existing non-conforming properties.
I guess I'm gonna be busy.
Because Joe Cronin used to, he used to have been up on that basis. I don't know, maybe this guy just hasn't been doing.
Well, we haven't had,
Increasing in non-conformity, that's, we have cases coming up on that, so. I haven't seen any in a long time because of you.
Yeah, I'm seeing them all the time.
it was, the one on Pleasant Street was an increase in the non-conformity, finding for section 6.
Yeah, it's essentially the same standard as special permit.
Yeah.
It's essentially one bedroom, one paper.
But it's setback in height. So we need the variance for the height and then the finding for the setback. Intensification of use.
Intensification. Or non-conforming, that's special permit, creating a new non-conforming.
Yeah. Right. So, well, that's unfortunate. Well, the problem is, I've always seen my part in, MCLE and all that stuff, I knew about this town. It's, we give out variances pretty generously.
Why can't we say?
Yeah. I don't really have much of a choice. Most of the town doesn't comply. Anyway, so anything else? Anybody wanted to mention, bring up?
Yeah, good deal. Great idea, though.
That's what I thought, as I said, I don't think that people had met, not each other in a while, or ever. And so I thank you all for coming. Let's take a motion to adjourn. All right. All in favor?
All right.
Right.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.